Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, and it's going to be MackWinston and Barcode. Here today on Crimson Court, the latter edition. And Mac, as you know, is a patron of mine at patreon.com/FalconPaladin at the $10 a month level. Gives him the right to send me any replay a month, and I will cast it, no questions asked, and put it on the main channel. So bottom left, it's going to be his enemy today. It is Barcode with the spinning trophy logo. And in the top right, it's going to be Mac. Alright, man. So a PvT. Mac is good at PvT. He knows how to use splash damage. He knows how to use disruptors and Storm and Colossus against Terran. So Barcode is going to have his hands full with that. And let's see if it's going to be... Oh, it's going to be a cannon rush. A cannon rush here from Mac. Yo, Forge coming up. Throwing down a pylon at the front. Out of vision of the Barcode player here. This is not post-youth. This is not Dynasty. This is not a weird map. It is Crimson Court, a fairly standard map, more along the path to a standard map than Dynasty or post-youth, right? Right. Okay, so gas is up, and cannon coming up, and let's see when... Oh, there we go. It noticed it. He noticed it here. Pull some SCVs. Make a bunker as soon as the barracks finishes, man. Barracks finished. Nice. Excellent response here. Bunker down. And cannot wall off because this pylon is in the way of a hard wall. Alright, so cannon on the low ground. Finishing up here. Bam. Supply depot. In trouble. Okay, so 3 SCVs getting pulled. The probe did die. And there's a secondary probe thrown down a gateway, canceling this cannon. And into the bunker we go. Alright, so Barcode has a bunker. And then maybe throw down a factory so we can make a siege tank. We'll see. We'll see if that is the plan here. High ground pylon dead. And no vision. And the probe. Yeah, the probe here supplying vision. Yes. Okay, so yeah, relocating the barracks. That's easier than playing peekaboo with that probe. So, ranged units, man. Ranged units are good against cannon rushes. There's the factory. Alright, we're going to try to expand here. We are feeling pretty, aren't we? Cybernetics core being warped in. Yeah, peekaboo. Peekaboo, says the probe. Peekaboo. Wow. Wow. One more. Oh, gosh. And now Zealot can play this game, and he's better at it. Because it takes like 47 hits. And he refunded the bunker. I don't know if that's the right move. Now he's supply block, trying to build a cyclone, calls out an immediate supply depot drop. So he has enough supply to make the cyclone. Okay, that's a really nice thing for Terran to deal with here, too. Max at 24 workers. He's getting a Stargate behind this. What with that Cyber Core is all about. He's got the double gas rolling. And Stargate at the front with shield batteries here, too. Is he going Proxy Void Rays or Proxy Tempests? Proxy Tempest probably a little bit better in this situation, just for the range. Void Rays do die to things like, well, Marines. And hey, look, Cyclones pretty quickly. But the range of the Tempest makes them a better option for this, in my opinion. An Adept is out for MackWinston for scouting purposes more than anything else. They do trade pretty well against, you know, Marines. They 3-shot Marines. You guys are old enough and a long enough StarCraft 2 player. You remember the days when Adept 2-shot SCVs? And they were unstoppable in conjunction with Phoenixes, right? Phoenix Adept was like this absolutely impossible to stop strategy for every Terran player in the world because Adepts were just on the ground 2-shotting Marines. And then the Phoenix was like lifting and killing everything else that existed. And there are some crazy games out there. I might actually have some games that I've cast and posted on the channel that have that strategy because it's a good one. And then they nerfed the... then they made the Adept 3-shot Marines. Instead of 2-shot them, that fixed the whole thing. Again, one of the more elegant balance patches in the history of StarCraft to fix a problem that was really bad. Adept cruising in. You know, going to finish that Shade and killing a Fusion Core. I'm going to say, are you making a battle cruiser? I feel like that's a bad idea. Because, again, I really feel like these are... Okay, they're Void Rays. But guess what? Void Rays trade really well. Really well against battle cruisers. So what are we doing with... Okay, is the fusion core just for a... It's a Liberator upgrade, right? We're just getting advanced ballistics here. Is that what the play is? I'm kind of okay with Liberators, except cannons are really good against them. And there's going to be Void Rays out that trade really well against them, too. So he's doing nothing with the fusion core. I do like that he threw up an okay dude here at 5 minutes. He's like, what are you doing, man? You're crazy. All right, so Void Ray pops in, and prismatic alignment. Cyclone dies. Oh, it totally sucks. Totally sucks. Losing that Cyclone is a big deal. Now we have Marines, which, again, trade well against Void Rays. What are we making? Up, he is making... You saw it! I won't BC you, says Barcode, who is totally BCing him. Maybe you jump the battle cruiser over here, but then if you jump it, you recall the Void Rays back home, and then everything goes poorly for you two there. Oh, he does. He cancels the battle cruiser. He's a man of his word. He throws the starport over here, makes another tech lab with it. Doesn't do anything with this tech lab. I think he's trying to make Mac prepare for a battle cruiser, but that's not what's happening. He is tech labbing a barracks. I guess, are we trying to make Marauders here, sir? I mean, Cyclones are more mobile than Siege Tanks are. I do like the idea of getting Cyclones over Tanks in this situation just because there are Void Rays that you want to run away from at this point, and Tanks are pretty bad at that. Thought about floating back here and taking this phase, but Mac throws down a pylon to block it. He's got a pylon here to block. Oh, and then Terran's like, dude, are you serious right now? Mac's taking a very ninja nexus down this right side. How did he get... Oh, he mined through this to get over to this right side of the map. Dude, this is a fun game from Mac. This is awesome. I imagine this was submitted for the Cheese compilation a couple of weeks ago and didn't get selected by the screeners. And he's like, you know what? Everyone must see this game. And I can understand why. This is fun. But yeah, if you missed the Cheese comp, tons of fun. If you like games like this, the Cheese compilation was posted a couple of weeks ago, which is part of the Cheese compilation playlist, which I have on the channel here too, if you want to check that out. Just for Cheese, that I've posted every month for a long time. Really, really fun stuff. Proxy hatches. We got things like this with the proxy Void Rays. And on the move out, oh my gosh, he found this. He found this. He was heading up that right side, and he totally found that base. But now he's worried about the Void Rays. He got a tank. Okay, remember when I was like how tanks are not mobile? When they're on siege, they are, but they're less of a threat to the cannons when they're not sieged up. All right, so tank up. Marines covering. All right, tank Marine. Cyclone here. Void Rays. Fighting Marines a little bit. Never want to do that. I think diving in and sniping the siege tank would be pretty easy to do. You might lose a Void Ray for it, but killing that tank is probably worth... Okay, so yep, there you go. That's exactly what happened. Lost a Void Ray, killed the tank. And the ability to get out of here is not happening. Who unloads over by the Ninja Expand Barcode? Totally does. Forces a recall and immediately gets out of there because a Void Ray will snipe your medevac. And then you're in trouble with those Marines, aren't you? Stuck over on this side of the map with no way out. Yeah, medevac boosting up this way. Stalker trying to keep an eye on it. Does get a glimpse of it there. Oh, moving down the ramp. Here comes Barcode. Shutting it down. Depowering everything over here. Oh, Barcode. One base Marine maraudering here. Suddenly, 43 to 25 total army supply. Stalker is shield battery. Prismatic alignment overcharged. Get in range of the prismatic alignment. There you go. Of the shield battery overcharge. Prismatic alignment does pop in there. This is, woof. This is definitely something. I have to give it that. Okay, so finally, Barcode is able to get out here and get a second base. Good for him. And I'm going to take down this pylon. Already took down this pylon a second ago. And Mac's in trouble, I think. I mean, he's got the second base. He's had it for a while. And the Terran doesn't technically have a second base yet. So that's happening. Cannons, shield batteries. What do you do when you have a base you're worried about getting attacked? Those things. Cannons and shield batteries. Mac is moving more into robotics facility. He's got a couple of mortals out already. He's making a couple more robos here. Maybe for Colossus would be good. It is very marine heavy right now. I mean, it is. The army is exactly 37 marines, a cyclone, and a raven. This man will die to Colossus if he is faced with them. That said, I don't see a robotic support bay warping in here from Mac. If he's going to do it, that'd be nice. Again, the man knows Colossus. It's not like he's afraid of him. But every Protoss should know about Colossus. That shouldn't be a unique thing. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Whew. Robotics Bay coming in. Every Protoss player breathes a big sigh of relief there. Immortals against Mass Marine actually trade pretty poorly. It's kind of like Immortals versus Zerglings and Zealots. Like, tier 1 units versus Immortals are bad. Immortals really ply their trade against things like siege tanks and stalkers and Colossus and Ultralisks and roaches, like higher tech stuff. That's what they like killing. They really don't like going after tier 1 squishy stuff like Marines. Vikings being added into the mix here to try to deal with the threat of the Void Rays. I like what we're seeing here. Out of barcode. Void Rays sniping a missile turret. Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here, missile turret. Get out of here, Tech Lab. You too. Blah. Get out of here, Reactor, probably. Tech Lab that's researching Combat Shield gets it and then loses a Void Ray in the process. So a Void Ray dies in exchange for a Tech Lab, an upgrade, and a missile turret. So Combat Shield's pretty good. There's the extended thermal lance getting fired up here. Mac knows. He sees this Marine comp and says the answer to this is, without a doubt, ye old Colossus. War of the Worlds enemy types. Or friendly types if you're Protoss, I guess. Doesn't make sense to call them enemies if you are Protoss. Yeah, 2 Colossus. 3 would be incredible here. Not enough Vikings to really snipe Colossus down before they die to things like, well, the Void Rays, for example. So Colossus being produced, not being chrono boost out here. Extended Thermal Lance not being chronoed either. There is energy for chrono on both of these Nexuses. So that would be something that would help in a situation like this where you're not quite sure if the Marines are going to come kill you or not, and the faster you get the upgrade, the better it is for you. Free SCV is free. Really kind of limited resources lost here 12 minutes in this game, right? 3,000 for Mac, 2,300 for Barcode. Nobody's taken a ton of losses so far. It's mostly buildings and then mostly Marines for the Terran. So yeah, mostly buildings for Mac. Who is supply block now after losing that one pylon? He's got more pylons warping in, so the supply block problem does not happen for too long. And here comes Barcode coming up this ramp. Seems like a situation I would not want to do at all. Dude, more chrono boost is available. More chrono boost is happening here, folks. Barcode getting a 3rd base. Big friggin' deal for him. Yeah, if he gets on 3 bases, I guess if he keeps making Marines, which he's doing, I think the Colossus are just going to wreck this anyway. So, never mind. If he gets on 3 bases but doesn't tech into something that's better than Marines against Colossus, ooh, okay. Force fields, yes. So, Colossus totally got sniped there. Good target firing. There were more Colossus than before. Mac desperately falling back here, trying to hold it. Another Colossus is going to pop out here momentarily. We've stimmed a whole bunch. There are 2 medevacs who are going to start healing these dudes up. Barcode says it's too easy. Too easy again. I sniped your Colossus, man. If it was too easy, you probably would have won the game by now. Colossus, blah, blah, blah. Hiding back, fighting back. Fall back to the shield battery. Actually, I remember when I was like, we're making a shield battery at this base. We were not. Mac wasn't. Mac, being the nice guy that he is like, yeah, glad you're having a good time here, man. I'm having a good time too. StarCraft is all about fun, not being about mean. Yeah, don't be mean. So 3rd base not being upgraded to an orbital or a planetary, which you want to choose one or the other. Thank you very much. 2nd Colossus is going to finish up here. Again, 3 probably better. Once again, target fired the Colossus, but then everything else died. Wow. Are there upgrades involved here? Yeah, 1-1 for the Terran and nothing. No attack armor or armor upgrades here for the Protoss at all. Suddenly, it is a nothing. Big nothing on this side of the map. Suddenly, the entire army of the Protoss is 9 medevacs and 19 Marines. And every time we think we're going to get a couple Colossus here, there's only one. And in fact, there's only one again, because one just popped out of the Robo here. So, Colossus again. Yeah. Marines are trying desperately to kill this Colossus, but they are dying 3 at a time to these swipes. Max getting a third base up the right side here. Okay. Well, yeah, this definitely turned into more of a macro-style game, didn't it? We're at 15 minutes. Players are on 3 bases. That's funny sometimes how a very cheesy situation can establish itself as a regular game sometimes. I know I said sometimes already, but I want to emphasize the sometimes here. This is not usually how this works. If a Protoss goes for a proxy cannon rush void ray type thing, either they win or they lose with it. That's usually the nature of cheese, but sometimes we end up here, where they didn't win with it or lose with it. Definitely a weird place to be. So Max third base, good, excellent. Terran's third base helping a lot. Income is going to favor the Terran player a lot, though. Look at this, 22,000 minerals per minute to 1,500 minerals per minute. Gas income is higher for Mac here, because mules don't help with gas. But man, imagine if mules helped with gas. Max says, I need more splash damage. Throws up Storm. He's at a Templar Archives here. We're going to go ahead and get the Sonic Storm rolling. Liberators are out. And Advanced Ballistics is getting fired up on that Fusion Core. I like that he didn't just abandon the Fusion Core. He decided not to go BCs, and then got Advanced Ballistics anyway. So he's using the Fusion Core for good. One Zealot walks across the map, doesn't have charge, mind you, gets killed immediately. Marines are at 1-1. They're working on the 2-2 and the Concussive Shell. They did retake Combat Shield after that got sniped on the Tech Lab on one of these barracks earlier by the Void Rays. And yeah, 3 Colossus. We've got 2. No, we have 3. I lied. There are 3 Colossus here. Sometimes, there you go. Sometimes health bars block things a little bit. And it's annoying. So High Templar coming in. It just takes him a minute or less than a minute to get up enough energy for a storm. And he's got to deal with Liberators now, which currently that's going to be 6 Stalkers and 2 Sentries that can shoot up in this army. Storming them does work as well, but they've got a lot of HP, so they can take a storm and keep on ticking. Here come the Colossus. I mean, here comes everything. Mac brings the entire army over this way. And goes for it. Ed goes for it. All right, so Stalker sniping down with the Sentry support, Colossus. Bam, and a storm too. Oh, suddenly chasing through storm does not seem like a good time. He storms that SCV line, and oh my gosh, everybody dies. Sonic Storm and Colossus, everybody. That army just got obliterated. Let's see if Barcode. Oh, he's been dropping. That's where a lot of his army was dropping the main base of Mac, and he's like, all right, screw it, we base race. We base race. Stalker count heftier than it was a minute ago, as there are now 15 of them. See how Blink? He wants Blink. He'd like to be able to blink on these Liberators and kill them. Or if they just want to rally on top of the Stalkers, that's fine with MackWinston too. Wow, that was a terrible rally. He's too busy base racing to pay attention. Look at the shields shimmering, and then they disappear as the shields are gone. That's such a fun animation. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so the thing is, there's no income for Barcode right now, and there is income for Mac and production capabilities, right? He's got Robos down here, he's got Warp Gates down here, the Terran still has production up in the main base, and he's trying to turtle a little bit, and he's hiding some SCVs up at the top. He doesn't have enough money to make a command center, though. So the SCVs are hiding. The main base of Mac is gone, except for this one assimilator, which they're going to take the time to kill here. 76 to 52 army supply. Did Blink get completed? No. I think Blink got denied. So coming up the ramp, and these Marines, these Marauders in a tight little choke. Everybody gets stormed, and Mac walks into the front door like a king. Barcode says, well, yes, well indeed, you will lose. Oh. He still thinks he's got this thing won. I mean, they say never base race at Terran. He says it's going to take forever. Oh, so I'm going to leave, says Barcode. I don't have the time to prove that I'm better than you. I'm going to leave the game now. And just know that I'm still better than you, even though you get points for this. Even though you receive MMR. Ah, that's great. I mean, I say that's what's happening, but he doesn't seem to be leaving. He is providing a ready-made excuse as to why he leaves here in a second. Yeah. Oh, no. He floated this up. He totally floated this up. Okay, okay. He's floating his barracks away. This is getting dicey all of a sudden. Mac loses one of his 2 remaining nexuses. He's got this guy down south. He's expanding left side. Bam, bam. Nexus here, nexus here. Does not have vision on that. And the Terran doesn't have vision on this, but he might catch it with the barracks. Oh, he does catch the pylon in the corner of the vision here with these barracks. That's a lucky. And then he comes in to scout what this is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is getting dicey all of a sudden for Mac. I know he's got bases coming up on the left side, and he will win a direct engagement with this army. Eventually, Barcode's going to have to deal with the Colossus and the Psionic Storm, and I don't think he wants to do that. Look at this. He's building barracks back home. He's building supply depots because he's supply blocked pretty horribly. Barracks floating up the right side. He's like, where do I want to expand? Where do I want to put my barracks? Don't just float them out. Use them for production capabilities. Land them here. And what a crazy game. You start the game here and you're like, okay, so can't tell who spawned in what location, but they were there for a while and then got killed. Now there's a base up here for the Terran and over here for the Protoss, which is also very confusing. This game is using the sides of Crimson Court a lot more than the mid-rank level games that I've cast in the past. Usually players just don't have the wherewithal to get out there, but both players have done it. I'll try something new as well, says Barcode. I don't know what that is, but it's 74 to 31 army supply, so that's not a good place to be. Man, still no attack or armor upgrades on these ground units for the Protoss. Not even close. 0-0 for these dudes. Oh, did the Terran get into 2-2? The Terran got into 2-2, so upgrades might be a big deal here. Medivacs cruising down south. Mac does not know where he's like, is this a base? No. Where would he expand? He could go to my natural. This is untouched. Very hilariously, that's untouched. And, oh, okay, a recall to this base, if Barcode commits onto it, would be insane. It's gotta be. It's gotta be a recall, right? No, there's a recall available. Okay, never mind. No recall. Base dies. Oh, wait, did he recall probes out? Is that what happened? I think he might have recalled probes out when I was staring at the recall in option. Either way, Mac's trying to get in a position where he can attack these dudes, but the Medivacs make it really hard, and he doesn't have Blink. So he's trying to, like, stutter step these Medivacs. Oh! Gets one full Medivac. Kills a Marauder. It's even worse now. Hiding in the trees. Okay, Barcode. What do we got? Medivacs hiding in the... There you go. Hiding in the trees over here in the bottom right. Pretty hard to see. Camouflage quite nicely in amongst these red leaves. Big fan of that. Mac is tossing up more gateways. Does have this one base he's rolling with. The second base is not being probed up yet because he's supply blocked pretty heavily. That Nexus is providing a lot of supply, and there are a bunch of pylons there too that are all now dead. Oh, Barcode was building something. He just canceled some stuff though. So he's going Mass Marauder. You know what? Against a Stalker High Templar Colossus ball, I think Mass Marauder is pretty good. The problem is the Immortal at the back here. These Immortals at the back, all 4 of them, are really good against Marauders. Okay, dodging Storm preemptively. Taken's running. Okay, so he's just like, I'm going to meet up with my bros. We're going to meet up over here, kill your base. Mac's like, man, I wish I had Blink. I really do. And then eats another Storm. Everybody dies. Ah! Oh no, and a GG noob out of Barcode. Oh, and he taps out. Mac gets the win. That was absolutely a ton of fun. Man, look at how many dead things there were in this game. 2 orbitals died, a command center, 4 nexuses. Just across the board, 155 Marines went down, 18 Stalkers, 30 probes to 34 SCVs. A surprisingly small number of workers died in a base race like this. And yeah, Marine Marauder alone is just not going to do it against Immortal High Templar Colossus Stalker. It's tough. It's really tough. The Immortals answer the Marauders. The Marines died. Everything splash damage. Stalkers are here to deal with any medevacs that might exist. If Blink had been done for Mac, I think this game would have been a little bit faster. But in the end, he gets the win, relocating entirely to the left side. Like, come on. He spawned up here at the top spawn, and he's over here on the left side now. What shenanigans led us here? I'll let you know it was a cannon rush to start with a proxy gate and a proxy stargate and void rays and stuff. So that game turned out pretty interesting for sure. So GG, Mac, getting the win here. Just better tech. Needed more Liberators, needed more Vikings. Like, there was a time here that Barcode had the tech to handle this. A lot of it was Vikings, right? A lot of it was Liberators. And just more of it. He was just down in overall supply a lot. And yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm like, I had 2-2 upgrades. They had 0-0 upgrades. How am I losing? It's because you just don't have enough stuff. Short answer. Resources lost, 28,000 and 19,000. Barcode ended up losing about 9,000 more resources in 24 minutes. And, I think maybe taking this third base was a problem for him. He was pretty good. I'm not going to say Mac was Barcode was a bad player. Mac, we know, is a good player. APM's about 130 for both, so that doesn't tell us a whole lot about who is necessarily better. Not like Barcode was floating a ton of cash either, neither was Mac. So good job. Just a good game between two players. It's very aggressive and like a lot of harassment and stress at the start, and then they're able to kind of push it to a 24-minute game. So that's the sign of a couple good players for sure. All right, guess what? That right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
The path of ascension is before